Hello, welcome to Spirit Paranormal. I'm its founder, Chief Lawson, and today we're going to take a little trip. Holiday road, holiday road. One of the greatest things, and I believe, of paranormal group's existence is being able to go out on continuing education and go to Paracons. The nation's largest Paracon is held in Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie to be specific, every year. And this year it was held August 26th through the 28th. It was held at Quadron Casino and Convention Center. It was a great time. Now, I can't begin to tell you how much fun it was. For us in the paranormal field, this is kind of our way of not only getting continuing education, but having a wonderful time in the process. It's a collective blend between an old-fashioned college road trip and just a part family vacation and a convention and continuing education workshops all rolled together. May involve a little drinking from time to time and certainly a little gambling since there's a casino on site. But all that said and done is still a great opportunity. It was a fantastic time. We can't wait for next year. I remember distinctly as we were walking on the last day, my Chief of Staff, Andrew Brooks, looked at me and said, "Are there any more Paracons going on the rest of this year?" Man, I wish there were. There are actually a couple, but they're a little further than we can drive. So one thing we're going to talk about today is what is a Paracon? Well, that's a catchphrase been used quite a bit. You have Gen Con, you have Comic Con. Con means convention, so in the front is abbreviation for what it is. In our world, it's a paranormal convention, and it draws in everything in the world. It is a multi-discipline type of convention. In other words, so if you believe in psychics, they're there for you. If you are in our methodology, which is a scientific debunking methodology, those guys are there. There's people all in between the scale from one end to the other that appear. There's cryptozoology people, ufology people. Everyone is there. It's a big calling. And I can tell you, the biggest thing that a Paracon is an opportunity. It's a many-faceted opportunity. It's an opportunity for continuing education, to learn things and try new experiments, see what everybody else is doing in the field, to see if we can use any of those techniques to our benefit. So certainly that is part of it. It's an opportunity for fellowship among paranormal groups. Sorry, I'm still getting a cup of joe down. And there was many paranormal groups there that we got to talk with. Generally, it's attended by about, at least in my opinion, about 3/4 of it are what we call groupies. They're people that really aren't attached to a group. They show up because they believe in the paranormal world, and they're coming out to meet the people they see on TV, and they're coming out to learn things and attend workshops, and it's an educational field for them as well. The other 1/4% of these are people that are paranormal groups. They're out trying to do regular continuing education, plus, again, enjoy and mix to get all these new technologies. But it's definitely a good fellowship for paranormal groups. And this particular convention is put on by the Upers paranormal team, and fantastic people. They did a fantastic job. Really can't wait for next year. We're already making plans. It's an opportunity to explore areas of the paranormal you may not have had the opportunity to do so before. And if you want to stop over some of the cryptozoology booths, or you want to stop over at some of the psychic booths, or ufologists, this is the time. I mean, it's great. The opportunity to meet some of the paranormal people on TV, certainly we've been putting up pictures of different groups, and we'll talk about those folks as we go along. And maybe at the same time, it's an opportunity for a little vacation as well. So I want to thank my team members who were able to go. I want to thank Andrew Brooks, my Chief of Staff, Heather Lawson, our case manager, and also my wife, Tim Webb, our tech manager, and I want to thank, even though she was unable to go, Jennifer She is our research manager, and unfortunately her son broke his arm and she was unable to go. Next year, I guarantee you next year. And Alan Lineberger, who messed up his foot, and so he was unable to go. So next year, Alan, you want to be here. Trust me, this is a great event. So this is our group's second attendance to this. Many of us, this was our first attendance. Again, fantastic time. I most especially, though, want to thank Andrew Brooks, because Andrew kind of hosted this event for our group. He drove 8 hours up and 8 hours back without help. He provided his own vehicle, which he wanted to take. We all crammed in the Subaru and off we went, and it was great. And he was the most congenial host you could ask for. He catered to every one of us. I don't think we could have got a better host. And the poor guy, he was sore. You know, car trips make everybody sore, especially after you get over the age of 30. But, you know, he definitely was struggling. He had a lot going on. He took time out of his schedule to do this. So, anyway, I really want to thank Andrew. I can't go far enough to say anything we wanted to do, he went and done. Anything that we asked for, run back to the hotel, run here, run there. He was, you know, sometimes I felt bad because I felt he was more of a chauffeur than a member. But I tell you what, he couldn't have been a finer guide in there. He knew quite a bit about Sault Ste. Marie. We got a chance to see the locks and many things, and we'll discuss those as we go along. So for right now, but I want everybody to remember, you know, this was a great time. And Andrew, from all of us, from the bottom of our heart, thank you very, very much. Now, let's talk a little bit about whether you're a Yooper or a troll. And it's kind of a funny phrase. In Michigan, if you live below Mackinac Bridge, in other words, anywhere south of there, you're a troll because you live under the bridge. If you live over the bridge, you are a Yooper. And we found it really quickly. We obviously are trolls, but there's different groups, and they take this very seriously. It's kind of a thing that a lot of people don't know unless you're from Michigan or travel in that area. And it's just fantastic. So let's talk about one of the biggest draws to the Paracons, and that is to get the opportunity to meet the TV paranormal stars. Paranormal TV has produced many stars over the years, but some of the biggest ones of late. And this is a great opportunity. This is an opportunity where you get to see these people, talk to them face to face, talk to them about different projects, research techniques, and different experimental techniques they're working with. Gives you a chance to really get on a one-on-one basis with them. Most of the time you'll find all of the stars very approachable, very professional. They're willing to interact. You know, you never get the feeling that they're better than you. They're in the same paranormal world, doing the same paranormal research, and they're more than willing to, you know, to share and help all the research that you're doing and anything that they think that will help you, you know, advance the field of parapsychology. I'm going to start out with Jason Hall, Steve Gonzalez, and Dave Tango. Three fantastic guys. Everyone knows them from TAPS, the Atlantic Paranormal Society, and from the famous Ghost Hunter TV program that lasted, I believe, 13, 14 seasons. I mean, it was fantastic. I hate to see it come to an end. They now work on Ghost Nation, a new television show, still part of TAPS, and got a chance to sit down, especially with Jason, and talk to him concerning our past family group experience, and he'll know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, we'll be reapplying to them as a family group in the coming days. Fantastic, just nice time talking to them, and can't say enough good things. Amy Bruni and Adam Barry, two very energetic individuals. Saw them on stage, attended Amy Bruni's workshop, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Fantastic couple. They do great work. They certainly have some new research material they've got out there, and some new techniques that I think every team is looking at. Very nice to cut up with. I and Adam got to debate the difference between vodka and scotch. So anyway, very good time, very personable. Dustin Perry, can't say enough things about Dustin. Dustin was just fantastic. He took the opportunity to stop what he was doing and carry on a conversation with us, and just absolutely fantastic. So again, can't say enough good things about Dustin. He has a wonderful book out, and I managed to get a copy of it, which he personalized, and look forward to reading that. That was one of the many books. One thing that another opportunity that Paracons provide is the opportunity to be able to get books authorized and signed by the actual authors on site. Get a good price on them as well. So fantastic. Dave Schrader. Dave Schrader was fantastic. I had a wonderful time talking, cutting up with him. He had to be careful of distance because we were in the middle of production, but he was hilarious. He told the best fart stories of any paranormal investigator I'd ever been with, and so I told him, I said we would be great drinking together and telling stories. Really enjoyed the time I got to spend with him. He was a fantastic presenter, very interesting, and him and Cindy Krause is starting their new things that are going on with TV now, and I don't know, they didn't give us the name, they're not allowed to, they're still in production, but it's a new show they'll be hosting and coming out with here shortly. We did get to see some little bites of it, which is pretty nice, and in case you haven't been informed, the Holzler Files have been canceled. It's their last season. Again, fantastic, get a chance to talk with them, and just absolutely fantastic. So scooting on down, the next one, Greg Lawson, not only an author but more than likely a cousin. So as we talked, we got to spend a lot of time. Turns out our family all comes from the same place, so I'm quite sure we're related. Greg has done a couple really good books and that are out there. One of the first ones I got 2 years ago at the conference, Andrew Brooks, my chief of staff, bought it as a gift, and it was Detecting Paranormal, written by Greg. Actually, the forward in this is done by Jeff Bellinger. Really good, fantastic. Greg, can't thank you enough. Greg is a very, very, very nice man. Fantastic, good to talk to, very easygoing. Had a wonderful time chatting with him, and can't say enough good things about that. So, and certainly, again, you got to take care of relations. So, hey, and he was very kind to us. So, Mike Gonzalez. Mike is part of the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. He's quite a talented individual. He's a musician, among other things. And we got time to spend with him. He took time out of his schedule to make photographs with us. Very nice. We talked to Chris briefly while we were there. Certainly very good groups within the paranormal TV world. Jeff Bellinger. I can't say enough good things. He was extremely outgoing, extremely friendly. He actually moderated the Ouija board, witch board seminar. Fantastic moderator. He knew the material, he knew the guy, so he interacted very, very well. Very entertaining. Truly enjoyed getting a chance to talk with him. My wife definitely wanted a picture with him, and we made sure that happened before he left. He was more than happy to do that. I also picked up his book, Our Haunted Lives, and fantastic book. He also puts one out, The World's Most Haunted Places, and I do have that copy too. I don't have it right here handy, but I do have those copies. So, fantastic individual. Cindy Krause, and I tell you what, Cindy Krause, fantastic. I did not go to her workshop, but we will be presenting that shortly. My wife and our case manager went, and our chief of staff went. We kind of divided and conquered to get to as many of these as we could. Fantastic lady. Very, very, very nice, and very interesting. I mean, I've never been a big psychic follower, but I've got to say some of the things that my wife and my chief of staff brought back, fascinating. So, absolutely fascinating. Enjoyed her in the Holzler Files, did a very good job. She is also continuing with Dave Schrader with their new venture, which we should see in the next coming year. So, Shane Pittman, poor Shane. God, he was fun to talk to. He was absolutely fantastic. Made photos with us, and I told him, I said, he reminded me of poor Shane because they shove him in every hole, crawl space, basement, anything they can think of. And henceforth the nickname Poor Shane. And so Shane is venturing out and doing one of a new adventure of his own, and we don't know what that is yet. Again, it's in production, so they don't allow him to disclose a lot of that. But Shane was fantastic. I really enjoyed talking with him. Hope to be able to see him again in the future. Just absolutely fantastic. Now, met a fantastic brother, Masonic brother. His name was Logan King. He is one of the board members with the Salem Witch Board Museum, and he's from a lodge in Muncie, and I got a chance to spend some time with him. I can't thank him enough for the personalized tour he gave our group through the Ouija Board Museum. We had to sign a waiver to see some of the haunted and possessed boards, and the boards that had had things linked to them. So really fantastic time, really was. Looking forward to seeing him at the upcoming Ouija convention, or I'm sorry, Ouija Museum exhibit, and hope to see him and get to do some videos with him in the future. We talked about doing a Ouija witchboard video together, and so looking very forward to that. Brother Logan, thank you so much again for that ability, for that opportunity to get to go through the museum and the ability to do so. Thank you very, very much. Tim Murphy at Randolph County Asylum. Yes, we are coming. I promise. Every time I pass by this booth, Tim would yell out, "When are you guys coming?" Okay, because we were from Indiana. As far as I know, we were the only group there from Indiana other than them. And yes, we have not made it to the Randolph County Asylum, but we're going to, and we will be making a video there for them as well, YouTube video that will come out, and can't wait to work with him. Good guy. I mean, tremendous. I really would like to sit and have some drinks. Every one of these people, I would have loved to have had a little more time to sit and have drinks with. It would have been great. There wasn't that much time. The bad thing about the convocation, the Paracon, it's so fast. It goes in 3 days, and it's just boom, 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 and you're constantly rushing to this class or this exhibit or to this particular presentation or this workshop that you don't get as much time to really spend that you'd like to do. Chris Nielsen at Traveler's Moon, a fellow Scotsman, and while he was wearing his kilt, we stopped and we talked about family tartans. Fantastic. Hope to make it on his program one of these days. He hosts the Traveler's Moon podcast, and I tell you what, fantastic individual. We sat and talked and for a bit, and really enjoyable. So thank you, Chris. Cliff Barackerman, I can't say enough good things about you. And Cliff, of course, is in cryptozoology, which is not something we normally do, but I always enjoyed the BFRO, which was the program that was on for many years. Cliff, Bobo, and Matt Moneymaker, and their online biologist. I tell you what, it was a good show. It was interesting. Cliff runs a museum now in Oregon, and we'll be promoting that some for him. I tell you what, one of the most approachable guys, very friendly, very nice to talk to him. Had a good time, really did. The thing I regret the most is I wanted to talk to him for quite some long time. I really do enjoy cryptozoology, even though our group doesn't do it. I've had some experience in the past, but I really wanted to talk to him. Never got to go to Oregon, and I actually have a friend in a lodge that lives in Oregon, and we talked about this on several occasions of getting a chance to talk to Cliff and Bobo, and Cliff was there. Unfortunately, I had to run to a workshop, and when I paid for it, and I had to make sure I made it, and I really missed the opportunity. It was the last day we were there, and I just didn't get the time I wanted to talk to Cliff. Cliff was good enough to pose for a photo, and fantastic. I wanted to spend more time talking to him about the museum and so forth. Another group that wasn't advertised that was just absolutely fantastic. From Mountain Monsters, we had Buck and Wild Bill. Now, let me tell you, Wild Bill is a fabulous American, and I would give anything to bought a few beers for him. I would have gladly done so, having been a vet status as well. It was fun to talk to. He enjoyed getting to talk to us. Couldn't beat it. Out in the middle of the stand, he had a box of crayons that were a USMC marked MRE, Meals Ready to Eat. So, gotta love it. Marines will understand it. Great time, absolutely great time, and I really enjoyed our time with him. Buck, one of the friendliest guys, and Buck's lost a lot of weight. He looks really good. We got a chance to talk to him again. Not our field but again, it was fun getting to talk to them. We got a chance to reach out and really spend a little time with them, and it was fantastic. I mean, it truly, truly was. Last but not least, Butch Patrick. Butch Patrick. Oh my God! From Munsters fame, my wife got to take a photo with him. She wanted one real bad, and I got some wonderful photography tips from Butch. Having our group being short a social media manager, which does a lot of photography on these runs, I was trying to fill in as well as everybody else, and certainly I got a lot of very useful things. With first being get my finger off the lens, and yes, I mean I do appreciate that. It was a great time and great instruction there, Butch. Appreciate it very much. So. There's so many more stars. I just hit on a few of the others. Okay, another star, Mike Rickskelker, and I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry, Mike. I really am. I'm trying very hard there. Very fantastic guy. He was kind of quiet at first, and we were very. As soon as we approached him, he was very, very outgoing, very, very nice guy to talk to. Didn't get a chance to get one of these books. There were so many books. That's the problem. Buying books, you could go broke, and I mean, I would have. I probably spent $200 or $300 out of pocket just on books and photographs and different things. And yes, you can get autographed photographs. Most of them charge anywhere from $20 to $100, depending on who they are. And you can get those, or how many people are in the photo, and so forth. So, had a great time doing that. I mean, don't get me wrong. So, and there were other people there as well. We had the Ghost Brothers. They were there. John Zappa. Again there, and one that my wife really, truly, truly enjoyed. I think she wanted to be friends with right off the bat was Patty Negra. Fantastic individual. My wife really felt close to this woman. They had a wonderful time talking. She wanted a picture with her, and we bought the book. My wife bought the book right here, Old World Magic, Modern World. Fantastic, and she is known as the Good Witch. Fantastic individual. Also, I want to make a personal apology to Patty over the cracked screen incident with the phone. And for those that didn't know, I had a little meltdown because during the transaction of buying the book, I and my wife, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before this trip, had just gotten new phones. About every year and a half, we get new phones. And unfortunately, we had just gotten new phones. So I was looking at the 100 million things going on around me, wasn't paying attention, and Patty put her phone up, which did have a cracked screen, and for the transaction to purchase on a credit card to purchase this book. And at that point, I turned around just in time to see this phone my wife was holding with a cracked screen, and I immediately thought, oh my God, you cracked a $1,000 phone screen in 3 weeks. And I think I scared Patty a bit, and I apologize. I didn't know it was her phone, and so again, my apologies. But fantastic individual. Would love to get an opportunity to talk to her more. There was a ton of people there. Ghost Stop was there. I want to shout out to Ghost Stop. They are one of the oldest paranormal equipment suppliers out there. We've had stuff we've purchased from them. They had a booth. There was other people that had booths that were selling things. One of the neatest things was the traveling museum of oddities, and I mean, that's fantastic. Had Jay Hynek's Fendora in there. It was very interesting, among other things. Fantastic. The exhibition hall just had wondrous things. I could talk all day on the different things they had there. They also, the guys from the Ouija Museum had brought Ouija-Zilla, which is the largest witch board known. The planchette weighed 450 pounds, took like 12 people to move. The board itself, and again, go online, take a look, because I don't remember the size, but they just had a section of it, and the section was like 15, 20 by 20. It was good sized. Kind of interesting. I mean, even if you don't believe in the witch boards, Ouija boards, and there is a difference, at least go look. I mean, it's interesting, some of the facts and features you find there. Paracon it was. And most Paracons, all the groups are friendly. There's no competition. Everybody gets together and everybody goes, hey, where are you guys from? You know, and we get talking and, wow, let's have a drink after this is done tonight. You know, and I mean, my God, there's just a ton of groups. There was a lot of Michigan groups there, obviously. We were the only one, to the best of my knowledge, again, that was from Indiana. We did meet, one was from British Columbia and one from Canada that had come across for this. So it was kind of neat. I mean, we got to meet some different people in the field, and I got a few business cards, and you know, we were reaching out to those folks in the very near future. Again, fantastic. We just had a wonderful time with that. So let's talk about the presentations and the seminars that were given. The seminars were free. They were held in a lecture hall. You just walked in, you knew what time they were, and you were able to go into it. It was really nice because of the fact that you could just walk in any time you wanted and catch one of them. And there were several, and I'm going to show these a bit later, but just to give you some ideas. The Ghost Brothers, they appeared on a Friday. On Saturday, Greg and Dana Newkirk, Climbing Witch Mountain, Ancient Gods, Haunted Objects, and the Paranormal. Nick Redfern, Diary of Secrets, UFO Conspiracies, and the Mysterious Death of Marilyn Monroe. But these are just some of the different things they had. Okay, one of the neatest things we had at the Paracon was workshops. Gave us a chance to do some continuing education. And I and my tech manager, Tim Webb, attended the Amy Bruni Research Conference workshop. And we were doing this to help out Jennifer, who is our research manager. Her son broke her arm; she was unable to be there. But we also wanted the education. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. A lot of one-on-one with Amy. She went over numerous aspects of research, which I'm not going in depth, but I tell you what, the conference was fantastic. We gathered numerous things that we really didn't have or didn't know about before. Several search websites made available to us. One of the neatest things was that she sat down and said, okay, this is how I and Adam have done research. I learned this back when I was with TAPS. I have carried it forward, into Kindred Souls. These are things we do, and they were very quick to explain that how important a researcher is, that a researcher can bring the dead back to life and the information that they recover. Their particular approach on the Kindred team, since they use psychics, is they do the research and then they make confirmation of what they gather, and anything that the client provides them, they confirm that evidence to be accurate, and then they verify it through psychic medium. And I think that's an interesting approach, as they're not relying on the psychic to provide them all their work. They're doing the work and just confirming it with them, which is an interesting concept. It's not like the Most Haunted of UK, where they use the psychic primary. So very interesting approach, but there was wondrous amounts of information gleaned from this workshop. It was well worth the money we paid. It was about 80 minutes, and she was very accommodating, and unfortunately it stuck us in a room because the room we wanted had water damage due to the rain the night before, and it was ungodly hot in the room we were in. I hated that, but it was well worth it. I mean, again, fantastic conference. I think everybody had a wonderful time, and this workshop was great. So thank you, and we're going to be talking next with my wife, who attended the Cindy Kaza workshop, and I want her to give you your impressions of that workshop. Okay, joining us today is my wife and spirit case manager, Heather, and she attended the Cindy Kaza workshop, and she is going to give us a little bit of insight of what the workshop was like and what they actually did there. She was also joined with my Chief of Staff, Andrew Brooks, who is not with us today, but so Heather's going to fill in the blanks here and give us a little idea. How was the workshop?
It was fantastic. Actually, it was very energetic. It was, I don't know. It was just, you could feel the energy from all the people there. And during the, it was a gala reading. It was not actually like a workshop where you go, learn a specific thing. Like what you did with Amy Bruni on investigating. But when at the beginning, when Dave Schrader came out and did the introductions for Cindy, he goes, I was today's years old when I learned that Cindy's last name is, the proper pronunciation is Kaza, not Kaza.
Oh, Kaza. Well, that's interesting, because I don't think anyone ever
I didn't know that
used
either.
that pronunciation. That's very interesting.
She said that she's fine with either.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. She seemed like a very nice lady. She really, truly did.
Very sweet, and she likes to call everybody love, and she's.
I like that. That's very nice. Now, what kind of readings did she do? How do you do a gallery reading?
Cindy is a psychic medium, if you didn't know. And so what she does is she stands on stage and asks everybody to take deep breaths and open themselves up and just let them, be relaxed. And then she opens herself up to spirit and lets the spirit come through. And then she starts talking as if spirit's talking, and she'll say, like, for instance, this is the one I thought that was for you. Mm-hmm. She's like, there's this man, and he's taking me out in the water, in the ocean, on a boat, on a ship. I was like, whoa, because your dad was in the Navy. And so I was like, oh, I was about to raise my hand.
Wow.
And then she started naming other stuff, which didn't have anything else to do with your dad.
Yes.
And ended up being some other person's dead. He was a merchant marine and some other stuff. But that's usually how she did it. She would get these, the spirit would come through and tell her these things, and she would say them. And the people in the audience, she would tell them, if this pertains to you, raise your hand. And you raise your hand. And you always had the option, when you raise your hand, to say, Cindy, that's for me, but I don't want a message.
Oh, well, that makes it nice.
So, and then she would...
Did anybody do that while you were in there?
No.
Oh, okay, so everybody wanted the message. Yeah. I'm going to lean forward real quick and shut off this noise that keeps coming in. Bear with me. There we go. All right, that should stop that from interrupting the video. Now, quick question. While I was talking to Andrew after this, he said that one of the things that shocked him was how, for accuracy, we've seen a lot of psychics, and I'm not going to quote names and say, they're fake or anything else. We've seen a lot of them that are a little hard to believe because they're very generalized in their statements. Well, I see a man, he's a middle age, and he has dark hair, and Andrew said that wasn't the case.
No, she was very, there was some names that she was like, I can't remember, because they were very unusual names, so they were even hard for me to remember. They were like, I don't want to say Dolores, but it was even more unusual than
more
that.
Complicated.
More complicated than that. And she had this one older woman, she's got this smoker's talk, and she's perfectly replicated, and she's like, this young lady's, it was her grandmother. She's like, she sounds like she's been smoking for,
So she picked up very unique things.
Things that...
Very different that
and she didn't
people wouldn't know easily.
No. And no. It was none of that, I get a feeling that, of impending doom or,
yes,
anything like that most people contribute to psychics or psychic medium readings like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very interesting. And Miss Patty Negri was the microphone runner for Cindy, and she did a wonderful job in her high heel boots running around the whole. She was the only one. She was the only microphone reading.
Patty was
runner.
very nice. I really enjoyed her. She was very, very nice.
She had to run around the whole.
Oh my gosh.
Auditorium with her.
Well, that's fantastic. It's kind of funny when we were there. I think one thing that I noticed is a lot of it didn't matter what show or what network they were on. A lot of them all worked with each other. It was about it was about parapsychology or ufology or just paranormal studies in general. Everyone tried to help each other out. There was no we're not talking to you or so forth. Everybody was very friendly, very open, and very sharing.
It didn't matter what show or what channel they worked for or were from. It was like one family.
I believe
as a
that.
whole, one community.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the workshop that?
Not the workshop itself, but Cindy does. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook, and she does do classes.
Oh, very good.
She does psychic medium classes and other classes on how to use psychic mediums in your parapsychology work if you're interested.
Outstanding. All right, very good. Well, thank you for coming on and giving giving everyone a bit more, and we'll certainly be referring back to you in the very near future. So hopefully we're hoping to get Heather here as a regular on our videos, as well as I think Jennifer's volunteered to come on and start helping me with these, so that's fantastic. So again, the workshops, I can't say enough about continuing education. It's worth every bit of the money we paid. We learned quite a bit. I think everyone walked away with something, if not more than one thing, so it was very good. So the Jeff Mudgett, which is the great-grandson, I believe, of H.H. Holmes, Melissa Moore and Greg Lawson, blood tie serial killer descendants. you know, and again, the 5:50 p.m. we were actually had to be on the road, and I really wanted to see this one too, and didn't get a chance to. Jason, Steve, and Dave, Tango, all and Sherry were all there for Ghost Nation's presentation. The you know, and they actually had at the end, and we didn't get to see this. This was at 9 p.m. on Saturday night, so we were on the road heading back. I think we were probably in Indiana by 9 p.m. Was Saturday Night Speakeasy, hosted by Adam Berry. It's a stand-up, had stand-up comedy. Different people came up, paranormal match game. They had all kinds of fun little things that popped up. And they would you know, do different things on stage. It was kind of the comedy relief, the blowing off pressure at the end, and you know, fantastic. Again, something you really want to see. I mean, you know, this is really a neat time to go. So we'll be looking forward and planning for next year. And we also were trying to do the Alton PARACON, which is in Alton, Missouri, and or Alton, Illinois, rather. I'm sorry. And we'll be talking about that in the very near future. Upcoming. We didn't get to go this year; got sold out, and we were unable to make it. Been there before, and so we look forward to that as well. I hope you enjoyed our presentation video here on Michigan PARACON. I hope it inspires you maybe to think about going. It's well worth the trip, and it's not that expensive. And book early, book soon. You know, I'm sure they're already starting to round things up for next year. So we're going to end this video with our road trip home. And so again, thank you so much for watching, and if you would hit the bell so you're notified when we post new videos. Please stamp that subscribe button. Subscribe to us. We want the followers. We want you there. We want to be able to get these videos to you. Like our videos. That helps tremendously. Suggest them to friends and family. Go to our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page. You know, we're out there. Our Facebook is Spirit Indiana 1. And you'll find us on our website at www.spiritindiana.com. Again, on behalf of Spirit, thank you so much for watching.